Bruce Anderson. On the bench for them, it's Armour, Dackers, Kilty, Watkins, John Jules, Ethan Brown, Leslie and Paul Worth. Don Robertson is the ref.
Rob, thank you very much indeed. Pat Bonner, just brief thoughts in terms of those two lineups.
Yeah, of course, the big talking point is young Simpson Poussey coming into the team, how he will play normal centre half, playing right back. How will he do? That's the big question. That's two young players that was not in Brendan's reckoning at all, has come in under Martin O'Neill, right back, and of course Callum Osmond, who's now gone back out injured. But Celtic are, Martin O'Neill making a change in the full-back position, making a change in the midfield. Freshness he's looking for energy. Will that happen? That's the question. And how will Kilmarnock set up? Obviously, I think they will play three at the back. That allows them maybe to push players further forward. And will they have a low block, or will they go with a mid block and try and put a bit more pressure on Celtic, stop dominance in the game?
That game will be getting up and running. You'll be able to hear full live commentary the first half online at bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland with Pat Bonner and Rob McLean. Let's hear from Martin O'Neill.
Martin, I won't mention legacy, but I will mention Thursday night. How has the recovery been from what happened in Denmark?
Well, it was a very tough game.
Anyone else been bandied about?
But we have tried to recover, travelling back again. Obviously, I've changed the side around a little bit because of maybe a bit of freshness into the team, and we'll see how we go.
The name that jumps out of the team sheet is Simpson Poussey, debut for him.
Yeah. He's arrived here from Manchester City as a centre back. I think he's got a really decent reputation. He's done fine in training. This is probably not his natural position in that sense, but needs must, and we'll go and we'll see how he does. It's exciting for him anyway.
Tony Ralston obviously had struggles on Thursday night. Is that what the change is about?
Well, he's played 3 consecutive games for us, and before that there he had missed some matches, for some time. So three in quick succession. I know Tony's still a young man, but that has taken it out of him. And we've rested a couple of the players. When I say rest them, you can't afford to rest anybody, but they are on the bench, and we're hoping that people will make a difference to the side when they come on.
You and Sean will obviously have spoken a lot about defending, I would imagine, on the back of what happened in the first half against Midtjylland.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, I mean, those things are important. And as you see the game, the way the game is developing, and I'm talking about the global game now, where set pieces are very, very important, both for and against. And it's the way you defend those as much as possible. People are taking corner kicks and throw-ins. That's part of the game. That's fine, absolutely. So you have to do as best you can with that. And you try and maybe implement a plan or two with at the other end.
What you don't need is any more distractions. There are probably enough around at the moment, and I guess the man for the Green Brigade is another off-field distraction. I don't expect you to comment about it, but on the general subject of distraction, I mean, you hope that everybody can be totally focused on football, but sometimes that's easier said than done, isn't it?
Well, that is true, but it is, as you say, there's some things that you can't do anything about, and that's one of them. And if you're asking me about a fortnight ago, would that have been a major concern of mine, in London at that particular time, I would have said no, it wasn't really. So myself, my own particular focus to get on the pitch here today and try and win.
That game getting up and running. Celtic against Kilmarnock. It's live online at bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. Let's go to Pittodrie. Tyrone Smith been watching on the first 45 minutes. Aberdeen Motherwell.
Yeah, Richard, at the break here at Pittodrie, it's Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 0. I have to say the Lanarkshire side have utterly dominated. They took the game by the scruff of the neck, really from the kick-off, enjoying plenty of dangerous possession and pulling their hosts all over the pitch, and they almost broke the deadlock in 16 minutes. The ball fell to Callum Slattery 8 yards out, and his powerful goal-bound shot, it was brilliantly tipped over the bar actually by Dimitar Mitov. They then went close again when Tawanda Masawanese's low drilled shot, it was deflected just wide before Elliot Watt then tried his luck from distance. His effort flying way over the bar though. The Dons, being honest, they just couldn't get near the ball as well, and then knocked it around, and when the home side did have it in their possession, their propensity was to give it away, but they should have scored though. Against the run of play in 39 minutes, Marko Lazetic got in the end of a Jesper Karlsson ball in, but he volleyed wide from just a few yards out. He really
He stops me. Mm. Oh, you no, don't you dare. You powerful. Rejoice, comrades. It's Morton is here. Hey, Morton. Fucking work. I'm trying to get on the Sports Scotland's website. Right, fine. Get wrecked. The BBC. Mm. Um, I'll I'll just try some of this. Just let me have a bite of the bread. No. Tried that one at times out. Give, give me fucking Celtic. Football. Football. Yeah. Where the fuck is my game? I swear to God. It's just annoying if I put me in match. Mhm. Give me the match, you bastards. Listen live.
Sheer, his confidence was up, everything was coming off for him, but he has to work hard at the finishing element.
At the back, Zach Williams for Kilmarnock. Robbie Dees in between Williams and Stanger. Long ball forward. Miss kick from Simpson. Pusey holds his arm up in acknowledgement of that. And now he's looking to shut down Dom Thompson. But one of those annoyingly late flags goes up on the far side. Just when you've forgotten about any remote possibility of anyone being offside. But he was.
I think if you're well off, I think that rule should really be changed in that line. The assistant should take control and make the decision early and put his flag up. Yes, I can understand when it's a very narrow situation or when it's tight.
Let's rewrite the rules, Packy. You've got a lot of influence at UEFA. Let's just take the rule book and completely rewrite it.
I think it's frustrating though for the fans, frustrating for us commentators, frustrating probably for the players. And I'm always waiting for an accident to happen. Somebody to go into a 50-50 when they're offside and ends up getting injured.
Really good play by Dom Thompson defensively for Kilmarnock. He went back all the way with Dyson Maeda. It was a chip ball down the line from Simpson Pusey. Maeda desperate to get on the end of it, but really strong from Thompson, making sure the ball went behind for a Kilmarnock goal kick. And every minute is just gold dust to Stuart Kettlewell's team. Every minute without any damage being done. It's 0-0. Beach plays it out short from the goal kick. Zach Williams hoists it forward, and a foul by the Simpson Pusey, who's some unit, it would have to be said. He does look like a centre back much more than a right back, and that's a free kick for Kilmarnock on the halfway line.
Yeah, listen, we've seen in the past maybe centre backs getting the opportunity to come into the team in the sort of full back position and that, but it's kind of fairly unnatural position for him, I would tend to think.
So Dom Thompson to take this free kick for Kilmarnock, hoping that they're just getting themselves bedded into this, and how they'd love the bonus of an opening goal. Thompson with the angled left footer from the set piece, free header on the far side, knocks it into the mix. Trusty clears, and then there's a foul by Stanger, I think it was, on Maeda as he was looking to counter.
Yeah, the one thing, you know, we know from Martin O'Neill in the past that he loved the big centre back, he loved the big striker also, and what he talked in his pre-match words was about set pieces, you know, and he likes that, and maybe that's why he's probably put in Pusey today also, because he is a centre half. That gives him 3.
Tunekti coming in off the left side, then he does an about turn, quick feet, and then but finally no penetration. He rolls it back to McGregor and Scales. Then McCowan, who's seen little of it so far, gets a touch, turns it back to Trusty. Hatate right side with Simpson Pusey. Lovely ball out wide from Hatate to Tunekti. Sirachi tries to get there, sliding challenge doesn't stop him getting the ball in the box. It needed defending, and Kilmarnock do it pretty calmly and effectively, and the ball is played up towards Bruce Anderson. He's got a tough shift this afternoon. McGregor has it, McCowan, Johnny Kenny, great hit off the inside of the post. Beach beaten and bailed out by the frame of the goal. That was just a fraction away from Celtic being in front.
Yeah, Celtic won the ball back quickly through McGregor, probably about maybe 25-30 yards out, and then a combination of passes. I put Johnny Kenny in, he just almost headed first, he just turned and headed first time and nearly caught the goalkeeper out at the near post, but it was a good strike.
He's looking for a 4th goal in 4 games, Johnny Kenny, and well, they couldn't get much closer without actually hitting the back of the net. It was good technique, and Kilmarnock relieved that the scoreline remains 0-0.
Yeah, there's good pass and good movement from Celtic today, and I think this situation in midfield suits them better when the two players almost push high and give McGregor lots of space to go and dominate the game in there.
Tiffany with a pass for Kilmarnock, aimed at releasing James Brown forward down the right hand side. It wasn't a precise enough pass, but just a little opportunity on the transition there for Kilmarnock. Meantime, Luke McCowan has it for Celtic.
Yeah, difficult for Kilmarnock at the moment to get any good control in the game. They're almost defending, and they've got to be organised. They've got to see where the players are and get to the ball nice and quickly and stop players getting their heads up to pick a pass.
Sebastian Tunekti again on the left, into the box he goes, tries to thread it through for Hatate. It's not dealt with. Johnny Kenny does score this time. Celtic in front early on against Kilmarnock, and Kenny keeps up his little scoring spree. It is a 4th goal in 4 games for him, and Celtic have that early goal they were looking for.
Yeah, and listen, there was again Kilmarnock just dropping off so deep. Celtic playing little passes through them, penetrating, getting to the byline, cut back for Johnny Kenny. Almost he couldn't miss, just inside the near post. You can see here a little run from Hatate beyond his marker. I think somebody did slip, and that'll be the disappointing thing from Kilmarnock's point of view, when he could have probably cleared it. He almost was taken out of the game by almost, I don't know what it was. He could have almost tripped over himself for that. I'm not sure who it was.
It was certainly a defensive stumble, and that helped Celtic considerably in getting the ball into the back of the net. And just what Kilmarnock didn't want was Celtic getting a spring in their step this early on. Sirachi with a great ball into the box, and it's Robbie Dees at full stretch to knock that one behind. It might have been Dees who stumbled actually.
Yeah, it might have been disappointed in that, because I think he had a chance to maybe defend better and clear the ball, and he stumbled and allowed the ball then to get to the byline simply in a cut back, and it was a simple goal at the end up. But Johnny Kenny won't be complaining. Another goal from, be delighted.
Yeah, it's been a good little run for him. On the ball, Simpson Pusi. Across the back line to Srirachi. It's a loose one from the Uruguayan, and it goes straight to the feet of Brad Lyons, and he looks forward, sees nothing, and plays the ball back to Zach Williams. But there will be a free kick because Rio Hatate was late on the Kilmarnock captain, and it will be a free kick for Stuart Kettlewell's team.
Yeah, they just need to get a breather now because they were under so much pressure in that opening 10 minutes or so, and they just need to get a little bit of control, get the ball down, get a few passes in, and try to get up the pitch. This allows them now with a free kick maybe to play it long, but it's what's happens after the free kick is taken. Can they get a hold of it?
Goalkeeper Beach with the free kick, big diagonal, looking for a head flick on from David Watson, who got up well. James Brown is out there as well. Kilmarnock just have to keep the script the same at the moment, try and keep it as solid as they can defensively, and can they get something on the counter? It's Watson making a really good thrusting run from the midfield. Lyons plays it wide, James Brown tries the cutback. The cutback is cut out, but Kilmarnock will be pleased to have their first corner kick.
Yeah, a real chance there on that right hand side. It was almost like a 2v1, an overload on that side, and just the pass wasn't accurate enough to give the, I think it was Brown who was coming James Brown coming in to get beyond Srirachi, and he was able to block and knock the ball away for a corner. But Kilmarnock now lining up for this corner. They've got about 4 players all the way beyond the back post. We've seen it in Arsenal do it really, really well.
Set pieces might be the best option to get themselves a goal for Kilmarnock. They'll want to make the most of this. Dom Thompson has the in-swinger on its way. Well, it needed to be a good delivery, and it wasn't. It is kept in at the back post by Stanger. It's blocked by Simpson Pusi, and it's gone behind for a corner kick on the other side, the left-hand side this time. So I think it might be James Brown who's going to take this corner kick, and again look to swing it in on top of Kasper Schmeichel and co.
Yeah, it's interesting, you know. Obviously you need the delivery from a set piece too. You get movement of the players, and
Kilmarnock corner in quick succession. It's James Brown with it. Schmeichel came for it, collided with one of his defenders, but he got enough of the punch to get it out of harm's way. Back it's coming from Dom Thompson, a floated ball for Stanger to knock the ball into the middle of the penalty box, helped on by Tiffany, cleared by Scales. Only as far though as James Brown. This is promising for Kilmarnock. Tiffany looks to jink his way inside. He can't get any joy, but there was an opportunity for Lowry to try to squeeze the ball back from the byline, and it's a miss kick from him, which gets some jeering from the Celtic fans, and it slices behind for a goal kick.
He'll be disappointed, won't he, because he was in a really good position, and all he do is keep his eye on the ball, clip it into the back post, or drive it across that 6-yard box. Having a miss kick, key moment was very, very unfortunate for him.
The sound of sympathy from Paki Bonner there, as the ball is shifted wide by Celtic to Tunekti, and Kilmarnock do enough defensively into the byline, which was the plan. Dom Thompson's over on that side at the moment, having taken the corner kick. So the left back is currently a right back, a left wing back at least, a back 5 for Kilmarnock, but it's been breached already by Johnny Kenny. And here's Tunekti looking to do more damage, works the 1-2 with Hatate, just stumbled because the return pass slightly behind him. But Kilmarnock can't keep the ball. They've given it straight back to Celtic, and that's never a great idea here. The Tunisian Tunekti tries again, full of energy so far. The ball shifted across to Simpson Pusi, middle of the pitch. Squares it to McGregor, goes wide to Srirachi. Dyson Maida was on the deck a moment ago, off the ball, and Celtic will hope he hasn't done himself any damage, but they're attacking at the moment down the left side. with Tunekti. In comes the right foot, in swinging cross, and well, it looked like Eddie Beach should have caught that, but he chose to put fists on it instead, and he has managed to get it out of play for a throw-in on the left side.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Isaac Maeda, he was down earlier when when Celtic were attacking. I think he got maybe knocked off the ball and that, but he then suddenly, but a minute or so later, he goes down again, and he is struggling a little bit. I don't know what's, but he seems to be going to carry on.
Simpson Pusey with a throw-in, aiming at Johnny Kenny, couldn't get control of it. James Brown clearing. Scott Tiffany tries to get on the end of the loose ball, but it's Callum McGregor who's in charge. Scales for Hatate, left side for Celtic. Just slows it down, the Japanese midfielder. Waits for Sirachi to appear alongside. And wider still it goes to Tunekti. Tunekti runs it to the byline. There was a challenge by Dom Thompson, which had a penalty shout from Celtic. It was Sirachi went down.
Yeah, I think he was just outside, but he did go down. Whether he was just clipped, but the referee didn't see it.
It did look like a questionable tackle from Thompson. VAR will have a look at it, of course. But play goes on meantime with the ball at the feet of Austin Trusty. His pass is poor, intercepted by Zach Williams. Tiffany tries to get there against Maeda, and he does well. He's tenacious, Tiffany, and now he's running with the ball down the left-hand side. But back goes McGregor as ever to put out the fires. Schmeichel quickly out to Sirachi, room to run into for the left back. Ahead of him is Hatate. Hatate looks to play it inside Thompson for Tunekti, but the Kilmarnock player was able to cut it out. Kilmarnock seem to be sticking with the switch of the wing backs at the moment. Thompson has gone to the right, and James Brown on the left, presumably that designed to stop Tunekti doing the sort of damage he's been doing so far.
Yeah,
he on the end of a pass from McCowan. Tunekti plays it in. Johnny Kenny was looking to make it a double. Great challenge by Robbie Dees. Here comes Tunekti again, running it to the byline for Sirachi, and Kilmarnock are able to hustle the ball behind for a goal kick and get a little bit of respite. They're under constant examination here.
Yeah, I think that change that you talked about was just happened during the game, and they've just stayed in their position. That Thompson's back over in this left-hand side now. I thought maybe initially it might be because, you know, Maeda, we know that he likes to come maybe inside a little bit too when he picks up the ball, and when you have a fullback maybe being strong, and maybe his wrong foot from that position might have helped to deal with him. But no, I think they've just reverted back now, and they're back into the game. But yeah, listen, Celtic have made the chances in the first half. They've had that Maeda chance early on, then Johnny Kenny hits the post and then gets his goal. But Celtic look like they're in control of the game just now.
Celtic with a man down at the moment. I think is it Sirachi? I think it probably is.
It is, yeah.
Inside the 6-yard box. Aberdeen have gone ahead in one of the 3 o'clock kickoffs against Motherwell. Jesper Karlsson has got their goal. Rangers were 2 up at half time at Dens against Dundee, and Hearts were 1-1 and indeed are still 1-1 with Dundee United. So the Celtic fans will certainly be interested in that score from Tynecastle. Will Hearts drop some points? The Celtic fans would love to think so, and Celtic could get a couple of points closer.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a substitution here for Celtic. They have to go to the bench. I think Sirachi, I don't know what...
The stretcher's coming on.
Yeah, I think it might be a shoulder, you know. The way that he's sitting and the way I see the physio out with him, it's not. I don't think it's a hamstring or an ankle injury or knee. I think it's upper body.
Yeah, well, they've got a few on the injured list already. He's just getting back to his feet at the moment, so I'm not sure the stretcher will be required. But it's obviously an injury that is serious enough, and Kieran Tierney is on the bench. So one would imagine that will be pretty much a straight swap in that position. Some pathetic applause from the Celtic supporters.
Yeah, listen, it's another injury to another key player with the amount of games that they have and so on. It's an enforced change, which they don't really want.
Not a bad subby to come on. Motherwell have equalised at Pittodrie, so no sooner were Aberdeen in front than Motherwell had themselves the equaliser. 1-1 at Pittodrie, 1-1 at Tynecastle, 2-0 Rangers at Dens Park, and 1-0 Celtic here against Kilmarnock, and we're back underway. And a long ball forward is headed away by Trusty for Celtic.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Sirachi walking round the pitch. He obviously.
Brad Lyons driving forward into a good area for Kilmarnock. Will he try the shot? He thought about it. Now he squares it to Watson. Tiffany, left side of the penalty box, rolls it back out. And well, that's sloppy from Kilmarnock because they got themselves into such a great area, and Tiffany's managed to get himself offside.
Yeah, you shouldn't be offside. You're looking across the line, and you know, Brad Lyons was trying to get a ball out of his feet to get a shot away. He just couldn't do it, and then eventually they kept possession. And when it's played to Scott Tiffany on that left-hand side, you see right across the line. It's just that little bit of concentration. Big opportunity for them to do something in Celtic's penalty box.
Marcelo Sirachi has just disappeared down the tunnel. He was able to give the Celtic fans a round of applause, so maybe not too serious. Great bit of defending by Dom Thompson. The Celtic fans don't like it, but Thompson was just aggressive and strong, and he managed to stop Dyson Maida. And that is crucial for Kilmarnock, that he does exactly that. Fresh, good work again, aggressive up the pitch as well from Brad Lyons against Austin Trusty. And again, the Celtic fans are jeering the decision. They didn't like the challenge of Lyons, but Kilmarnock have to be in Celtic's faces. If they don't do that, Packy, they've got no chance here.
Absolutely, and Stuart Kettle, that will be a non-negotiable from him. You've got to match their energy and so on, and if you can do that, then you make it an opportunity. If you don't do that, you'll be annihilated when you come to Celtic Park. It's definitely an unconditional.
The ball just going along the back line for Kilmarnock before George Stanger launches it forward and Liam Scales heads it away. Nice couple of headers from McCowan and McGregor to release Hatate. Now it's Callum McGregor keeping the momentum in the move. Tunekti. McGregor again heading for the byline. He was involved 3 times. Celtic attacking move, which was finally halted by Kilmarnock, who can't afford to be conceding again anytime sooner. This game might just slip away from them. At the moment, 1-0 Celtic.
Yeah, it was a good tackle from Stanger.
Yeah.
And obviously Callum picking the ball up, continuing his run. It was easy to read because he knew where the ball was going to go, but Stanger used those big long legs to get across and put a tackle in.
Stanger to take the throw in for Kilmarnock on the right hand side. Out goes the ball again. Lowry looking to hold on to it. One of those 4 Kilmarnock changes. Tom Lowry playing in the midfield. Back to Stanger. He tries to fire it forward. Now David Watson, such a promising player. David Watson. He's only 20. He seems to have been around for some considerable time. The last 3 seasons, you would think. A lot of game time, and hugely promising, I think, Packy. Other clubs must be casting glances towards him.
Yeah, listen, he's young. Anybody with that type of potential and playing week in, week out, and a key player, you'll always be looking at him.
Hatate with a nice little reverse ball, chipped into the box, looking for the run in off the side from Dyson Maida, who gives him the thumbs up, but it was just slightly out in terms of pace of the pass, and it bounces behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think Hatate's, he's much better when he's playing sort of almost on that left-hand side of a 3, and when he's getting on the ball, he can drift out wide and get it. He get into the spaces and get it, and then he's got ability. He hasn't had a great season, I've got to say. It's not been one of his best.
Kilmarnock will be pleased they've got through the last 15 minutes without suffering any more. They conceded inside 10. We've now played 25, and the scoreline remains the same. Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0 on BBC Sports Scotland. Lovely touch and turn from Tunekti, but Kilmarnock teaming up against them, 2 against 1, but Still a Tunisian has it close to the corner flag. Plays a nutmeg, it's threaded through. It was deflected, the shot from Tierney, and it almost coughed up another opportunity. It's scrambled away by Kilmarnock. Here comes Celtic again. It's non-stop from them. It's incessant. It's Tunekti with a fierce hit. Not held by the goalkeeper. Johnny Kenny might well have tucked it in on the rebound. And Maida, he tried to apply the finishing touch as well. Kilmarnock are able to get that away. It was a minor miracle that they did. Here comes Sebastian Tunekti again. He seems to be unstoppable at the moment, and in the end the ball goes behind off Stanger.
Yeah, how did Maeda miss that? The shot came in initially and Eddie beached the Kilmarnock goalkeeper. Kind of tries to save it, by letting it get into his chest. It bounces off his chest. Here's
from the corner kick into McGregor. Kenny's header, and Kilmarnock are really struggling to cope at the moment. David Watson has headed it behind. It's going to be another Celtic corner kick. They're under siege, Kilmarnock, and it is incredible that they're only one goal behind, 27 minutes gone.
Yeah, Maeda's got to score though. When the ball comes back off Johnny Kenny, when he got there before the goalkeeper, it almost drops to him. But anyway, it's another corner for Celtic. The pressure's on Kilmarnock.
Corner kick on the right hand side for Celtic. It's going to be Luke McCann to take this for them. Already a goal in front. Beach punches again, gets good distance. Thompson tries to flick it further clear. Hatate in possession. Tunekti seeing so much of the ball, and Kilmarnock are really struggling to deal with him. This time he doesn't manage to get the ball in the box or force a corner. He's gone behind for a goal kick. Kilmarnock breathe a sigh of relief, but it seems only a matter of time at the moment before Celtic add to the have so far.
Yeah, they're punishing down that sort of in Kilmarnock's right hand side, Celtic's left, and they have a wing back there, but is he almost getting done in a 2v1 each time? Tunekti either taking him on an overlap. It was Sarachi initially, and then it's that last situation, it was Kieran Tierney who went on the overlap, and very difficult then for maybe a midfielder to get out there and help that wing back, and the centre half doesn't want to be stepping out into that area also.
Zach Williams was fouled. Kilmarnock launch it long from the free kick. It's back off the crossbar. So close to an equaliser. Well, they could have been 2 or 3 behind Kilmarnock, but that's how quickly the game can change. And it was Bruce Anderson who got down the left side of the penalty box, and he struck it really well with his left boot. Schmeichel was beaten it. Cannon's back off the crossbar.
Yeah, and that's again, he's nearly in again, and Trusty's got to come across and deal with that space that is between himself and Simpson Poussey, because it was too easy for Bruce Anderson to run down there, and he went a long distance. Even Schmeichel probably should have been maybe out on it, and then he just hits it, and it hits the corner of the post and the crossbar. Could easily have gone in the back of the net.
Long ball down the left side for Tunekti, but Kilmarnock have got that covered. James Brown sees it behind for the goal kick. Well, there's a kind of a stunned silence at Celtic Park at the moment, because it's been one-way traffic. One could have been easily 2 or 3 for Celtic, and then suddenly Kilmarnock go within inches of an equaliser.
Yeah, and it would have been against, you could say against a run of play to a point, but Kilmarnock have settled into the game a little bit better now in this second period of the first half.
Oh, I think we could definitely say against the run of play, because they were close to Kasper Schmeichel. A couple of corner kicks, but very little from open play has troubled Celtic, but that will trouble them, and a loose pass troubles them as well, given away to Anderson, and now Brad Lyons. It just gives a little bit of encouragement to Kilmarnock, allows them to settle and start to believe again that they might just be able to get something out of the game. Robbie Dees with a long ball again. It finds a Kilmarnock player in Brad Lyons, and he does really well to turn back into Simpson Poussey and fire it off the debutant behind for a Kilmarnock corner.
Yeah, that ball over the top down that sort of almost Kilmarnock's left inside channel is causing Celtic a few problems. Ball's played over there now, I think it's probably been 4 or 5 times. I don't know whether it's a position of maybe of young Simpson Poussey, who's obviously in a centre half playing in that, or where it's Trusty should be coming across, filling that space better.
So here comes Kilmarnock's third corner kick of the first half. They haven't really made anything of the previous two, but they must be feeling a little bit more optimistic at the moment. And just that one goal behind, Don Robertson sorting out some stuff in the 6-yard box. And now we can continue. James Brown to deliver for Killy with the corner kick, stands it up towards the back post, but it was pretty comfortable really in the end. It was a floated corner kick delivery. Schmeichel grabbed it, and Kilmarnock really need to be doing better at these set plays. And in the open play, it goes back to James Brown, and he overhits a pass down the left side, which gave neither Watson nor Anderson any chance of getting on the end of it.
Yeah, just on the set piece, they are really crowding in on top of Schmeichel, but Schmeichel did well that time, and the defenders did well because he blocked off, the strikers who were in there, and centre halves in there also, and just allowed him the time and space to come and collect that ball to the pressure off them. But Kilmarnock, growing in confidence a little bit, even though they're a goal down.
The only league game so far that was had Martin O'Neill and Sean Maloney in charge finished 4-0 here, the midweek game against Falkirk. But 1-0 so far against Kilmarnock as Maeda takes the ball first time, tries to turn inside. Kilmarnock get it away up towards Anderson, who hits the deck under the challenge of Austin Trusty, and there was a delay on the decision from Don Robertson. He's given Kilmarnock a free kick. It wasn't instant from him, that's for sure.
No, I think he just delayed to see what was going to happen in the second phase of that situation, and obviously Celtic won the ball, and they give it. I didn't think it was a free kick. I think they're small against big, and it was just leaning over the top of him. But it gives Kilmarnock an opportunity again to put that ball now into another decisive position in between the goalkeeper and the centre back, seeking somebody. They've got big players in the team.
The deliveries haven't been great so far at the set pieces from Kilmarnock. They've got another opportunity now. Dom Thompson, it's possibly the worst of the lot so far, high up into the air, way beyond everyone, and that's just catching practice for Schmeichel.
Yeah, it's so disappointing for them because I'm sure they've worked on that on the training pitch. They've talked about it, and the delivery, I said, is crucial. If you don't get a delivery out, no matter what kind of movement you get from your players, doesn't work.
Tierney down the left hand side for Celtic. It's Tierney and Tunekti in tandem down that flank. The ball is back with McGregor. Now Scales and McCowan steers it back out wide again. Tunekti has been the source of most of Celtic's creative play. In comes the cross ball from the byline, and it was a pretty spectacular effort on the end of it from McCowan. His hook shot blocked, and it's gone behind for a corner.
Yeah, he was just waiting for that ball to come down, and he's almost trying to position his body to get it onto his left foot, and he struck it. Tierney again getting to that byline, exploiting that sort of almost wing back situation, and clips it away to the back post for McCowan.
Almost into the last 10 minutes of the first half. 1-0 Celtic against Kilmarnock. McCowan's corner kick out swinging, and a powerful header away from Robbie Dees. He attacked it and he bulleted it clear, but Celtic just keep on coming back, wave after wave of attack. Not too much wonder goalkeeping required so far, but that could change. Tunekti trying to work a 1-2 with McGregor, it doesn't come off. Frustrating moments, and here come Kilmarnock on the counter with David Watson with a driving run down the middle. He's got Tiffany on his right hand side. Scott Tiffany dancing his way into the box, tries the shot, it's deflected, and it's touched over by Kasper Schmeichel. It's a really good save because that ball changed in mid-flight with a deflection.
Yeah, you're right. It just took a horrible ricochet when it was a good break from Kilmarnock. I think initially it might have been Brad Lyons that powered his way through
Watson,
a couple of
David Watson,
but from the very first one, I think he powered through a couple of players and then set up Dave Watson, who then powered forward, and he was able to pick out his colleague on the right-hand side to go and have that shot, but the deflection made Schmeichel react, and it was a good save.
They really need to start doing something from set pieces. Killy, here's another one. 1-0 down, but encouraged by what's happening here. Dom Thompson with the delivery. It was a Kilmarnock head on the end of that. I think it was Robbie Dees. Now it's Lowry to get the ball back in. Good delivery, stooping to clear was Trusty. Celtic looked to counter, but Kilmarnock have it back, and it's Tiffany angling a run out to the left side. He needs a bit of support. Arrives in the form of Tom Lowry. He flights it forward. Trusty gets the better of Robbie Dees, who'd stayed up there, and Celtic have the ball back. It's much more of a test now for Celtic than it was. They were cruising for most of this first half.
Yeah, much more of a contest, you know, and Kilmarnock able to break forward at times and create opportunities in the Celtic sort of a defensive third, and you know, it only takes just one decent effort and they might be back in this game. But from Celtic's perspective, they haven't been able to get that second goal.
McGregor slides a pass through, but well, he is human, and he sometimes gets these wrong, and he overhit that one from McCowan down the right side of the penalty box, but his fellow midfielder was never going to catch it. 1-0 it remains, and we've played 37.5 minutes. And Kilmarnock will be pretty happy with the way this game has panned out to here, having gone behind inside 10 minutes. A booming header away from Trusty. Under the bouncing ball, Robbie Dees flicked on by Lowry. Then it's Hatate to Tunekti, right in the middle of the pitch this time. He's got great feet, he's got poise and balance. He's very effective. He's been a good signing. Tierney with the cross ball in. Johnny Kenny trying to get on the end of it. His head first, then a Kilmarnock head. Might have been Robbie Dees, and that might have gone in had it not been for Dees getting his head to that.
Yeah, it was a super ball in from Tierney. Just picked her up on the left-hand side, probably about maybe 40 yards out, and just put a really good ball into a really dangerous position. I thought Johnny Kenny was first to the ball, and I thought he maybe could have got a better contact on it with his head.
McCowan with the corner kick in towards the back post, and for once Eddie Beach catches it. There was nobody near him that time. He's done a lot of punching of the ball in this first half, and one or two things have bounced off him as well, and maybe Kilmarnock have got lucky at times, but they're putting a good effort into this. I'm not sure what Don Robertson is unhappy about here. What is he up to? What is he up to, Packy?
I haven't a clue. Well, maybe it was off. Maybe Johnny. I can't see Johnny Kenny. Was he offside for that header? And is it delayed?
Don't know.
Decision?
Much ado about not very much, to be honest. And we're at 39 minutes. Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0. Johnny Kenny's goal.
Oh, he's waiting.
Forward it goes from a Kilmarnock point of view. Is this going to be a contest now from here on, or can Celtic get the goal they fancy before half time just to stamp their authority on this again? Back the ball goes to Scales, and then it's across to Trusty and Simpson Poosie. Forward for McCowan. Back to the Manchester City loanee, and then it's McGregor working it across to Scales. Tierney having replaced Seracci, who went off injured. Back into Liam Scales again, with McGregor at close quarters. Hatate slides it through. McCowan needed to get a touch and then get a shot away, but it just slipped away from him, and that allowed Dees to clear. And he's really angry with himself, McCowan, because had he killed the ball there, he would have undoubtedly had a left foot shot on goal.
Yeah, and that run, of course, and that's the difference slightly even from the other night when they had, you know, Celtic played with the two sitting players. When they had possession, they kept the two sitting players in their position. But here, you've got McGregor sitting now. They've got lots of possession, and that releases the two midfielders to play higher. And that time, it was Hatate on the ball on the left, and McCowan making the penetrating run, the two midfielders combining, and nearly would have been a really good goal, or an opportunity at least for Celtic if he had to be able to control the ball.
Hatate chipping the ball into the box, and again it's really good play. You have to give credit to Dom Thompson the way he's performed here. He's booted the ball into the stand in the end, but he's managed to keep a pretty close watch on Daisen Maeda so far. Of course, it's all about 90 minutes. He needs to maintain that. Tierney, Hatate, Tunekti into the D for McCowan. To the right side, and Simpson Pusi has cross ball in, diving header away, the ball breaking towards McGregor, and it was a good block by David Watson, because Callum McGregor was looking for another long range wonder strike there, and it was so important that the 20-year-old Kilmarnock midfielder got in the way of that shot.
Yeah, for me that's what you want from young players, to be able to react to the situation, read the danger, get into a position, because you know that Callum McGregor is danger round about the edge of the box. We've seen him strike really good strikes and scoring goals from there, so I'm sure they would have talked about that.
Kilmarnock in possession. Zach Williams, the 21-year-old, launches it forward looking for Anderson, trying his best. Bruce Anderson against two giants against him in Trusty and Scales, but he's always competitive, and he was very close to getting an equaliser. Brad Lyons with a long ball looking to get James Brown into the game, driving down the right side, but it was all a bit over ambitious. Now McCowan for Celtic. It's a great pass which has Tunekti racing onto it on the byline, fired across goal, and it's a really good back heel away from Zach Williams to get that out of the danger area. Kilmarnock determined here to get to half time with no more damage done. They've got 2.5 minutes to see out, and there will be a bit of stoppage time too because of the treatment on the pitch for Marcelo Serracci.
Yeah, that was a good drop at the shoulder from Tunekti to run behind James Brown, and James Brown struggling a little bit over on that right hand side to deal with both Tunekti and when
Scales pass, Simpson Pusi knocks it down. Johnny Kenny has a crack at goal, but never balanced to put that on target from 25 yards out, and it was way over the top of the crossbar. He was much more precise earlier on when firstly he hammered a right footer against the inside of the post, and then he hit the back of the net inside 10 minutes, and Johnny Kenny scoring his 5th goal of the season for Celtic, and 4-4.
Yeah, ambitious that time, wasn't it? Yeah, but again, listen, there's nothing wrong with taking it on if it's there. You know, when you're high in confidence, you've scored goals. I'd rather that than just doing the simple thing, especially when you're an attacking player.
James Brown on the ball for Kilmarnock. Back it goes to Stanger, and further back still to Eddie Beach, the goalkeeper. He angles one out left side. Thompson competing well for it, and tethered out by Jemai Simpson Pusi.
Yes, a difficult shift for the wing backs for Kilmarnock. They've got to be high up the pitch at times. They've got to then defend when they're up against two players normally. And you talked about Thompson. Yeah. I think he's got that bit of pace and almost hunger to defend, which is really, really good. And that's what you're looking for. Do you go with a defender in that position as a wing back, or do you go with an attacking type player? That's always the decision for the manager.
We're in the 45th minute. Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0. Well, you thought when Celtic scored inside 10 minutes that it might be 2 or 3 by now, and it might have been, to be honest, with the opportunities that came their way. It could also have been 1-1. Hatate for Celtic, and Tierney swings in across from the byline. It's beyond everyone, but it will be kept alive by Maeda, who rolls it back to Simpson Pusi. McGregor thinking about the shot. Now Hatate. McCowan just outside the box, and caught in two minds again, Luke McCowan, between drifting in across there and having a shot at goal. And while he was thinking about that, the board's gone up to tell us there will be 3 minutes added to the first 45.
Yeah, listen, he's a good player, McCowan, but he got caught in two minds there, and again, fairly ambitious. He had players at the back post where he could have just clipped a little ball to or link up with somebody, but he took on the shot and it was miles over the crossbar. I think Kilmarnock, considering the start of the game, I think they'll be happy enough maybe to have got in 1-0 down. It gives them something, if they can get in here at 1-0 down, it gives them something then to maybe think about, talk about, and see how they can get back in. And they've now progressed in the first half to get up the pitch at times. Celtic have struggled maybe to finish this game off slightly. Getting that second goal has evaded them.
They've definitely had one or two glimmers of opportunity. I mean, the obvious one was when they hit the crossbar, but there have been moments where it looked as if they could trouble Celtic if they can get the ball into the right areas. But of course, paramount for them is not to concede again. That's the crucial part of the game. That's the platform from which they can maybe think about getting something out of this.
Yeah, crucial. And I think Celtic have played better today, though. They've been allowed maybe to play a bit better. A low block at times and allows Celtic lots of possession of the ball.
Here's Tinecti again. Another little flurry from him as the first half comes to a close. Just lost his footing as he tried to jink his way inside. Tierney has it, McCowan, McGregor, and alongside him is Scales stepping into the midfield. Short pass to McCowan, McGregor again, Tinecti out wide, but he wants to get inside the box and he squares it across, stabbed by Hatate. Maeda had a flash at it with his left boot. It's blocked and it flies up over the crossbar, and Celtic right at the end of the first half will have a corner kick.
Yeah, came to him very unexpectedly, didn't it? And he controlled with his right onto his left, and just, I think the block was there. It was always going to be a block because it was so tight, but he gets his corner to finish off maybe this first half with real pressure on Kilmarnock.
Corner kick, right hand side. McCowan stabs it in, too low, diving header away by James Brown. Then it's McGregor's head and back to McCowan into the middle of the pitch with Hatate. He'll square it for Tierney, 40 yards out, an angled ball in, and it's glanced off a Kilmarnock head. It's heading towards the flag, and it has gone behind off the flag. Looked for a moment as if it was going out for a throw-in. We've just about added those 3 minutes, but there will be time for this corner kick.
Come on.
Can Kilmarnock see out the closing moments of the first half? It's McCowan who fires in a pacey corner kick, but Kilmarnock defend it solidly again, and they'll be pretty happy with the way this first half has ended. Sure, Kettlewell heads down the tunnel. He must have wondered what was coming when Kilmarnock conceded inside 10 minutes, but
I remember when kickoff is. Oh my God. Half four kickoff's weird. He's got a point. He didn't like that. Watch live.
My winter vaccine appointment reminder.
Super happy goes to get his flu. Flu, darling. His flu shot tomorrow, 6:15.
Influenza vaccine.
6:15. At night, essentially, at a local hospital to the north. Fucking ridiculous. The bus that gets you back down here to where we stay in this flat isn't running after he's finished. It's daft. I would say I would get him up there and get him back down, but I can't. There's no fucking bus, and I'm not walking up to that bloody hospital with him. My knee's fucked as it is.
It's nice walking through the park now.
Nope, fucking isn't. Have you been in that park at night or at dark? He's talking about Springburn Park, by the way.
You meet so many interesting people.
Understatement. Yeah. I think you're I'll just keep them muted because their halftime discussions are usually quite infuriating, to say the least. Can see ways through the Kilmarnock defence. I'm not quite liking it so far. Don't get me wrong, I like blah 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 number goals. Ignore the human walking behind me. What the hell? Oh, crisis.
Oh,
Okay, let's see what this then.
Able to clear down the left-hand side. And then the big switch out to Congreve on this near side as he tries to take on McHoma. Congreve still driving. McHoma's pacey though. It's back between the man and the ball. Gets it back to Butland. It's not a great clearance out. Drops to Hamilton. Decides to shoot from distance, and it's a comfortable take for Jack Butland, and it stays Dundee 0, Rangers 2 with 2 minutes to play.
Yeah, I think a lot of us at the start of the season had Dundee down as one of the teams who would be struggling to stay in the league, will be fighting for their lives, Liam, and they haven't disappointed us, have they? There's been a couple of revivals. Late goal here against Livingston to win the game, beating Celtic 2-0. You thought, is that the little boost they needed to try and carry the form forward? But they haven't managed to back it up, and they haven't managed today to carry any real threat, and they haven't really shown at any stage they're going to get back into this game after going 2-0 down.
A long ball for Rangers comes all the way through to McCracken. Onto it. As it's played short by McCracken to Cometio. And now it is Dundee picking up and driving forward through Luke Graham, who has to go back to Hamilton's all over at Pittodrie. It's finished one apiece. Aberdeen led through Carlson for about 2 minutes, and then Elijah Just equalised, so 1-1 it finishes.
What the hell? So Pittodrie is where Aberdeen plays, so that's Aberdeen 1. Motherwell 1. I think that's probably better for Motherwell, really. But well done, Motherwell. Round of applause.
He just continually chops about the ball, lays it off 5 yards, doesn't impact the game at all, really. He's drifting about the pitch looking for a touch of the ball, but not doing anything that's going to hurt the opposition. If you want to be a Rangers player, an attacking Rangers player, you have to show an awful lot more or be better than what you've shown so far.
Asgard in the centre circle, fires it out to Gassama on the left. Rangers looking to finish with a flourish here. Gassama's at the edge of the box, onto his right side, shoots, bends it towards the far corner and scores a fabulous goal. They've had to wait a while for the third to arrive, and when it does, it's a touch of class from JD Gassama. He jinked onto his right side, dropped the shoulder, rifles home from the edge of the box, and it is Dundee 0, Rangers 3, and it is well and truly game over.
And it's the icing on the cake. Gassama at times this afternoon has been quiet, he hasn't been involved in the game, but you always know if you give him the ball in a 1v1 situation close to the opposition box, he comes alive. His ears perk up and he can make something happen. However, Astley cannot allow him back at his right foot. That's a strong side. He wants to open the goal up for himself, and at ease he just skips inside. It's a lovely finish, good piece of individual brilliance. However, defensively, get him down the line, get him down the outside where he's on his left foot, his weaker foot, and his chance of having a shot narrows the angle, but he doesn't. He allows him onto his right foot, and he just nonchalantly just puts it into the far corner, and the Rangers fans will certainly enjoy their trip back down the road.
Sixth Rangers goal for JD Gassama. You know exactly what he's going to do, Stephen, don't you? When he gets in that position, he's always chopping in field. He's always looking for that shot and goal.
The thing is that we know that sitting here. Surely Astley on the pitch has to know that's what's going to happen, because Stephen Presley will have done their analysis, they'll have spoke about it, they'll look at individual players. The message will have been, don't allow Gassama on his right foot, because he opens the goal up, he's got a lovely strike and he can finish. So what do you do in the Dan Embers of the game? You allow him to do that. Concentration levels and retaining information that your manager gives you is a vital part of football.
Massively worrying for Dundee. This is going to be 5 defeats in 6 for Rangers. 3 wins out of 3 for Danny Rule in the Premiership, and they're looking at putting together back-to-back clean sheets away from home as well. I mean, not had any since last December, before they went Easter Road a week and a half ago. It's Tavernier for Rangers up the pitch. Now Asgard at the edge of the box. They give her space to shoot. He does, but it's a comfortable take for McCracken as we go into the third of the 3 minutes that were added on at the end of this one.
Now, as much as we can talk about Rangers' performance hasn't been, exciting, it hasn't lit the place up. Of course it hasn't, but from where they were a few weeks ago, if you'd have said you'll win 3 league games in a row, the manager would have bit your hand off for that, because that means then he's making progress, and you make progress, you convince people along the way, Liam, by winning games that what the message you're giving to them is the correct one. International break, freshen up a few players. I think they've looked a little bit leggy, particularly in the second half. They haven't had that same energy and zip that
Thursday night maybe comes into it, does it?
Yeah.
There's a Dundee Rangers free kick, deep inside their own half in the final few seconds of the match, and it will be 3 points for Rangers as the Premiership begins to take a little bit of shape. There's a pretty tight table across the board. It's finished 1-1 at Tynecastle, and it's finished 3-0 Rangers here at Dens Park, as Rangers move on to level points with Hibs, who are third on goal difference at the moment, but it's a result which Danny Rule would have absolutely signed up for before a ball was kicked. The Rangers supporters as well. 3-0 away from home in the Premiership is not to be sniffed at. Nico Raskan opening the scoring with a header. Stephen Presley will be furious with the defending. It came from the corner from Tavernier as he nodded into the left side of the goal to give Rangers the lead, a lead that they would double. Just minutes later, through Mikey Moore, who rifled home from the edge of the box. JD Gassama scored their third in second half stoppage time to ensure that Rangers make it 3 wins out of 3 in the Premiership under Danny Rule, and it's now 5 defeats out of 6 for Dundee, who remain 11th. Finished here under the lights at Dens. Dundee 0, Rangers 3.
Football from Sports Sound
on BBC Radio Scotland.
This Saturday Show with Amy Irons and Stephen Mill.
A lot of people have been feeling very passionate about this.
Seagulls.
Mark, have you had any run-ins with seagulls?
At night when I'm driving back for a gig, there's always about 40 seagulls. They're just sitting at this one petrol station. Like, you're scared to leave the car.
Did they ask you to buy fags in the petrol station?
Alan, can you please tell us why you are our Saturday VIP?
I am the winner of the checkout competition.
Please place your items in the bagging area.
Listen to This Saturday Show, Saturday at 9 a.m. on BBC Radio Scotland and Sounds.
This is Sports Sound with me, Richard Gordon, live on BBC Radio Scotland. Half-time at Celtic Park. Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0. Johnny Kenny's 5th of the season. Harden Midlothian and Dundee United drew 1 apiece. Kucherenko's own goal cancelled out by Stevenson for United. Raskan, Moore and Gassama on target. Rangers 3-0 winners at Dens. And it finished 1-1 at Pittodrie. Aberdeen against Motherwell. Let's go to Tyrone Smith.
Yeah, Richard, as you say, it's finished Aberdeen 1, Motherwell 1. It was a game that, the visitors dominated it pretty much from the start in the first half, playing some really slick football, not allowing the hosts to have much of the ball at all, but they found goal-scoring opportunities hard to come by despite the domination. The best opportunity saw Callum Slattery force Dimitar Mitov into a fantastic reflex stop from his powerful close-range shot, while Aberdeen created next to nothing in that opening 45 minutes. Marko Lazatic should have fired them ahead as the interval approached. Instead, though, he volleyed wide from a few yards out when he should have done a whole lot better. I think he'll probably agree. Aberdeen made a very much better start to the second half, though, and they had an excellent opportunity when Jesper Karlsson's corner, it found Gavin Malloy at the back post, but Malloy seemed to be caught a bit by surprise that the ball had found its way through to him, and he scuffed a weak effort wide. But they did score on the hour. Jesper Karlsson, he picked the ball up, he twisted and he turned before weaving his way into a pocket of space about 20 yards out and lashing a powerful shot into the net to give Jimmy Tillene's side the lead. A real moment of quality there. However, that lead didn't last long, just a couple of minutes. A Motherwell corner from the left found its way to Elijah Just, who toe poked the ball into the net at the front post. A really neat finish from him. Moments later, well sub Callum Hendry volleyed just over the bar before then trying his luck from distance, and that was the last of the real goal scoring chances at Pittodrie, where it's finished. Aberdeen 1, Motherwell 1.
Thank you very much to Tyrone. We'll get reaction, of course.
What was the point of doing
we'll get those actions. We'll get a bit of a discussion going on in the background there. We'll get reaction to events at Pittodrie and that 1-1 draw between Aberdeen and Motherwell. Let's go to Kerdy Nidsan, who's been covering all the action at Tynecastle.
Well, for only the third time in their first dozen Premiership matches, Hearts have failed to win. To their 9 victories, you can now add 3 draws. Prior to this afternoon, only Motherwell and St Mirren had been able to stop the Hearts winning machine. To that list, you can now add Dundee United, who were very good here today. They had to come from behind, but they managed to do so. Kiziridis had a wonderful bending effort on 25 minutes that hit the post, came back, hit the unlucky goalkeeper. You have Henny Kushirenko in the back, and it trickled over the line. Given it to Kiziridis, it'll go down as a Kushirenko own goal. Hearts at that point weren't too worried. They were just happy to be 1 goal to the good. Dundee United stormed back into the match though. A brilliant driven corner from Amar Fata was beautifully headed into the bottom corner by Lucas Stevenson to put Dundee United level by the break. United had 3 goals disallowed for offside. Zapsford twice and Fata in the other occasion. All 3 were for offsides against Zach Sapsford. I wonder if he times his run better, and wonder if his manager Jim Goodwin might be saying this very thing to him. Things might go an awful lot better for him. There were chances at either end, but no further goals after the break. So this one finished. Hearts 1, Dundee United 1.
Alan, clearly there will be little bumps along the way if Hearts are to maintain this challenge. The plus is, I guess, that they maintain at least the unbeaten record.
Yeah, Richard, and I got to the hill. You could see that they didn't make many changes. They finished the game with the same 11 that started. I was very happy. United deserved a point. Hearts just not as clinical as they've been in recent weeks. Couldn't get Kiziridis and Braga on the ball as much as they would have liked. Beningame certainly a big loss and touched on injuries. United merited it. They could have won it, as Kerridine said. They had 3 goals disallowed. They played very well. But you look at both set plays, both goals, Richard, you'll see them. 2 set plays. It shows you how important these are in the modern game. Hearts one was a bit of fortune. Good hit from Kiziridis, comes off the keeper. The United one is brilliant. It's a driven ball by Fata. Stevenson times his run. He's very late. Doesn't come in the box till late on, and it's a great diving header into the back of the net. 2 set plays, 2 goals. Good entertainment at Tynecastle. Draw is a fair result.
As things stand, the live table shows Heart of Midlothian 7 points clear of Celtic, who would have a game in hand at the conclusion of this one. They lead 1-0 at half-time against Kilmarnock. Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0. Johnny Kenny's 5th of the season as we join right across the frequencies for live second half commentary. Pat Bonner and Rob McLean.
Cheers, Richard. It did look inside 10 minutes when Johnny Kenny scored that goal. 4-4 for him. That Celtic might cruise into a pretty handsome first half lead, but they weren't able to take their chances, and back came Kilmarnock sensing an opportunity from a long ball as the second half now gets underway. Bruce Anderson crashed a left footer off the junction of post and crossbar, and despite Celtic's supremacy, it was so close to 1-1, and then a deflected effort from Scott Tiffany produced a really good save from Kasper Schmeichel. So it at that point became a different game. There was a different complexion to it, but Celtic are out of the blocks at the start of this second half, and they've already won their first corner kick after the restart. Left hand side, Luke McCowan will take it, and Celtic would like to breathe a little easier in this game if they can get the second goal. McCowan's delivery, and it was Dyson Maeda coming in off the right side of the penalty box, who got his head to it, but never looked to be totally convinced that he was going to hit the target, and it was well off target in the end.
Yeah, it was good good power in the header, but I think he was always under pressure. I think the defender did well. If you're not going to get to the ball first, then you've got to stop the player that's going to head it to get any really accuracy on it, and just as balance was off, and he headed well over the crossbar. But Celtic starting on the front foot.
Eddie Beach hammers the ball downfield, and Kilmarnock look to get themselves dug in at the start of the second half. Their performance certainly improved as the first half wore on. Little just glimmers of chances to get forward, but they've played themselves into trouble here. Zach Williams with a mistake as he tried to play too much football out from the back, and that's followed by a booming header away from Robbie Dees to treat things a little bit more safety first defensively. You don't want to be taking too many liberties with Celtic. You don't want to concede the second goal. I'm sure that will be part of the half-time message from Stuart Kettlewell. Yes, make the most of your opportunities going forward, but the prime function here has to be to keep Celtic out.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely bang on, Robin. You don't want to give up a cheap goal, and this always, when you come out after half-time, I think it's crucial that you don't make any mistakes and you settle into the game and get up to speed again.
The ball with Trusty, and it goes to Kieran Tierney, who's Marcelo Serrachi's replacement in the first half. The Uruguayan going off with an injury. We'll try and find out afterwards the seriousness of that. It's a injury list that Celtic don't really want to be adding to, already minus Johnston and Carter Vickers defensively, and of course Ian Acho and Callum Osmond are out for them as well. Engels on the bench today. There was a question mark over him. Simpson Pusi on the ball down the right side for Celtic, infield for Hatate. Didn't see a forward pass, so back it goes to McGregor. Wide again with the Manchester City youngster. Centre back playing right back. Trusty to Scales. Loose pass from Liam Scales. Hatate had to shift to make that work. Now McGregor. Simpson Pusi fires one in low. Stabbed away by Williams. Flicked on by Anderson to Tiffany. He'll do well to hold on to this, Scott Tiffany. Well, he's done really well, because initially he kept the ball, then he got his body in between the ball and Scales, and the Celtic defender bundling him over.
Yeah, that's when you're up there on your own, and that's what you've got to do. If you can't take a player on, then hold it up and try to get either a free kick or bring players into play. He did it very well. Allows them now to get the big players up. Celtic as well out, of course, but put it into an area and let Celtic defend.
Kilmarnock's opportunities have come from open play in the game. Can they make something happen from a set piece? That hasn't happened so far. Thompson's delivery, and again it's pretty comfortably headed away by McCowan. Celtic on the move with Johnny Kenny flicking it on. Luke McCowan continues his driving run forward. Lowry tries to get there for Kilmarnock, and he does manage to hold him up, but it's pulled back from the byline by McCowan, flicked away by Dom Thompson for Kilmarnock, and Celtic still have it, and they're pushing again here for a second goal. It's McGregor picking his way through a few challenges up to the edge of the area. Tunekti heads for the byline, whipped across goal, nobody on the end of it, and it's going to be prevented from going out on the far side by Simpson Pusi. He rolls the ball back to Hatate. McGregor lets it run through to Scales, and now Tierney just outside the box. Kieran Tierney, it's a great hit, and it's a great goal. He was thinking about the cross, and then he got wide.
take a pot shot at goal. That's exactly what he did, and Kieran Tierney has his first goal of his second spell at Celtic, and it stretches the advantage. It's 2-0 against Kilmarnock.
Yeah, it's really a goal out of nothing. It was good strike, I've got to say, by the defender. And I think maybe the goalkeeper at the point, he picked the ball out about on the angle about 25 yards out, and just, you're right, absolutely, I thought he was going to maybe bend it in for a cross, but he says, no, I'm going to have a go here, and he hits it low and hard across the goalkeeper. The defender has got to block that side of the goal. He can almost jumps in the air and allows the ball to go through him. You can see it here, just as he jumps, and he can stick out, like, block that side of the goal, give the goalkeeper a bit of a chance to make the save, but Celtic aren't complaining. A good strike, taking on the responsibility, Kieran Tierney, and puts the ball in the back of the net to give that second vital goal for Celtic. And I did say, from a Kilmarnock perspective, that's what you don't want to happen right after half-time. 51 minutes gone, 6 minutes into the second half, and you end up losing that second goal.
Yeah, it's easy in hindsight, but Kilmarnock will look back on that and think they needed to engage with Kieran Tierney as he was only a couple of yards outside the box, and whether he was going to cross it or shoot, somebody had to get a little bit tighter to him. And as Kilmarnock backed off, you could see almost the bubble above Kieran Tierney's head saying, well, why don't I take the shot on? And delighted to get his first goal of the second spell back at Celtic. And it's a goal that lets Celtic breathe a whole lot easier now, and they will look to kick on from here and maybe get one or two more. Maeda attacking Dom Thompson down the right side for Celtic.
Well, they know also, sorry Rob, they also know that result is true, and I'm sure they've been told, the management will be told anyway at half time, that, you know, Hearts dropping a couple of points, it gives them an opportunity, won the game today, to just drag themselves a little bit closer.
Yeah, it's a chance to move to within 7 points of Hearts at the top of the Premiership. Hearts have moved on to 30 points, which is a pretty incredible total for them, 12 games in. But Celtic can close the gap a little, and that is a big incentive for them, as Simpson Puzzi just dwells on the ball a little bit too long, and Kilmarnock have it. Back to Robbie Dees to launch the ball down the field towards Tiffany, but he's not going to win too many aerial battles, Scott Tiffany. And Simpson Puzzi towering over him, headed that way. Now it's Tierney on the other side with a cross ball this time, curling it into a pretty inviting area, but beyond Johnny Kenny, and one bouncing into the gloves of Eddie Beach.
Yeah, I think Celtic are moving the ball much better today than I've seen them. Even against Rangers, I think they struggled in the second half to dominate the game in any way, even though we're up, down, you know, with an extra player. But I think they've moved. That change in midfield probably has helped them, because they've got so much possession of the ball, and it just allowed the players to play in their natural positions that they've been used to for so often, and the game's flowed better for Celtic.
It's a dilemma now for Kilmarnock. Is it all about damage limitation, just keep it at something respectable, or do they look for a goal back? Do they look to bring the game back to life? Well, it's a ball over the top from David Watson, which maybe answers the question. And as Tiffany hesitated, Austin Trusty didn't. And Trusty is continuing to drive forward down the right hand side, turns the ball in, looks to get it back from Johnny Kenny, operating like an auxiliary right winger at the moment. Austin Trusty, his cross is cleared, Celtic get it back. McCowan to Tierney to Nekti, a good challenge by James Brown stops him, and as Tierney followed up trying to win the ball back, he was late on the Kilmarnock wing back, and that will be a free kick for Kilmarnock, who trail here at Celtic Park by 2-0.
Yeah, definitely foul, but I'm just looking at Trusty here. I don't think he'll do that too often. He's down on his knees, almost trying to get his breath back, but it was a good run from him initially, all the way up that right hand side to create something for Celtic, but nothing came of it.
Beach launching the ball long towards Anderson. It was the very way that Bruce Anderson got in, first half in behind the Celtic defence, and cracked that shot off the crossbar.
I still think that's probably the main threat for Kilmarnock, if they can get ball slid down and over the top of maybe Austin Trusty or the young right back Simpson Pusey, but they need to get hold of the ball first to be able to play those passes.
Good work again by Sebastian Tunekti. He's been pretty consistent down the left side for Celtic. He's seen a lot of the ball, and he's certainly created a lot for Celtic. Good hold up play from Johnny Kenny. Hatate caught on in possession, but Kilmarnock give it away. It's loose from them, straight at McGregor, and now Tierney might be encouraged to shoot again. His little chip ball towards Hatate is cleared, but it's sloppy at the moment from Kilmarnock. They're running the risk of conceding again. Tunekti heading for the byline, cuts it back, flowed away by Eddie Beach as Celtic were homing in, looking for a third goal.
Yeah, it was a good ball across to almost about 4 yards out from this left-hand side inside the box, and just it travelled so far all the way across the goal, and you would expect somebody maybe to get on the end of it, but the opportunity was gone and Kilmarnock got away with it.
Ball down the line from James Brown. Well dealt with by Kieran Tierney. He was backtracking, he got his head to it, and he managed to direct the ball towards Scales, and now Celtic are on the move again with Jemai Simpson Pusey in possession on his debut for Celtic, aged 20. A pretty towering figure at right back, replacing Tony Ralston today for Celtic. One of 5 changes to the team which started against Midtjylland on Thursday night. Tierney again in possession down the left side for Hatate.
Well, we did wonder what kind of team Celtic would have put out today, you know, with all the injuries they have, but they've made the changes, you know, they've made a lot of changes in the team, but it actually has improved them a little bit more than anything else. I know it's down probably to the opposition too, but and Kilmarnock made the change thinking that they were going to maybe set up in a better way to deal with Celtic. They've dropped off. I thought they might have pushed up a little bit more up the pitch and put Celtic under a bit of pressure, but they elected to drop off and have a low block, and I'm not sure if it's worked for them because Celtic have dominated, haven't they? They have.
Yep. Quite a bit to like about this Kilmarnock performance though as well. Let's see how it's going to pan out. They could be on the end of a heavy defeat if Celtic can take their opportunities, but there's been a bit of enterprise too about Kilmarnock, and they've certainly defended solidly at times, but if you keep on battering away at the door enough times, then it's going to burst open at some stage, and that's what's happened in the game with Johnny Kenny scoring first half and Kieran Tierney early second half, and we've just seen a ball booted downfield by Eddie Beach, the Kilmarnock goalkeeper. That certainly doesn't help when he sends it down way beyond everybody, and it just hands the ball back to Celtic again.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're right about Kilmarnock. No, they've hung in there. That second goal has taken the stuff out of them a little bit, but you know, they've hung in well. Once it's 1-0, you've always got a chance.
Simpson Pusey's cross ball, Paki, cleared by James Brown.
Yeah, I was just going to say, when it goes to 2-0, then you really don't want to lose another goal, and becomes a big scoreline then.
2-0 Celtic after 3-0 Rangers at Dens Park. Hearts 1, Dundee United 1. Same scoreline at Pittodrie between Aberdeen and Motherwell. Tierney to Hatate at the edge of the box. Cushion back from McCowan. And good clearance from Zach Williams.
Yeah, I think if Kilmarnock can keep it to 2-0, I think maybe the last 15 minutes they can maybe go and change that a little bit and maybe stick on another striker. They still have their 3 at the back, maybe change their back 4, give them an extra player in the middle of the pitch and try to force Celtic back a little bit more pressure on them, but it's going to be a very big task for them to get something out of this game now with 2-0 down.
Most of the success out wide for Celtic today has come from Sebastian Tunekti. I've been really impressed. I haven't seen a whole lot of him up close this season, but I've liked him a lot, and Daisen Maeda is just a pale shadow at the moment of his former self.
Yeah, and the other issue for Kilmarnock, of course, is that they play with wing backs, and you're almost defending in a 2v1 situation, those wide areas all the time. And you know, we've seen Sarachi when he was on the pitch overlapping Tunekti and giving that extra option to him, and then of course Tierney coming on will automatically do it too, because Celtic got so much of the ball, they don't have to sit back in their full back positions. But Tunekti is a good player, and he's capable of going in the inside and the outside, and he's got good feet, which is really what you want from a winger.
McCowan finding a little gap in between the lines. His pass deflected through. It did find its way to Maeda. McCowan again squares it. Tierney 25 yards out. And now Tunekti. Back with Tierney, tries the cross ball into the far post. Every time he gets the ball now inside 40 yards, you can sense the Celtic fans telling Kieran Tierney to shoot again, having scored his first goal of the second spell here. Could he do same again? But Kilmarnock looking to release Bruce Anderson, who's putting in his regular energetic shift.
Yeah, it was a really good run from Thompson down that left-hand side. Initially I thought he was going to go down, but he stayed on his feet and he was able then to link up with the midfield. And that run from Bruce Anderson just off the shoulder of Trusty is always a danger.
Anderson going very close first half, in case you've just joined us, to an equaliser. But of course since then Kieran Tierney has struck. And Celtic, you would imagine, are on easy street now at 2-0 ahead. They'll look to score again. They'll look to get themselves done and dusted with this and move a couple of points closer to Hearts at the top of the Premiership. Simpson Pusey with a pass to McCowan. He tried to just dink it round the corner. In goes Tiffany, and he was cleaned out by Simpson Pusey. Celtic are complaining and suggesting he got the ball. Well, yes, he did get the ball, but he stuck Tiffany up in the air in the process.
Yeah, he did, and unfortunately that tackle is probably one that the referees will pull him up on now. He's a centre half playing right back, remember, Rob?
Yeah.
A strong talking to, I think, is the rule at this moment from the referee, so he hasn't brought out the yellow card. Yeah,
I didn't see a strong case for the defence there against the free kick being given, that's for sure. Midway inside the Kilmarnock half, they have a free kick. Where are we time-wise? 62.5 minutes. Celtic 2, Kilmarnock 0. Kenny and Tierney, and I think Tony Ralston is standing by to enter the fray. Maeda changing gear, racing away from a couple of challenges, and then he was bundled over by Brad Lyons. Play's going to go on, I think, or is it? No, he's going to take it back for the free kick. I thought he was going to let play go there because I didn't see any need to stop it. Celtic had the ball, but fairly inevitable was the yellow card for Brad Lyons, who was all over the back of the Celtic player as he was sprinting forward.
Yeah, I think Brad Lyons had to go into the tackle, because I think if he didn't, Maeda was bursting forward and he had passes on either side, and it was a real dangerous situation for Kilmarnock. So it was almost like a professional foul from Brad Lyons. But here's the changes coming for Celtic.
Yeah, it's going to be Tony Ralston replacing the debutant Simpson Pusey, and Benjamin Nygren is coming on as well. He will take over from Luke McCowan. A double switch for Celtic, and they made one they had to in the first half, of course, when Tierney replaced Serachi.
Yeah, and listen, Luke McCowan, I think, has had a decent game, and he's very comfortable playing in that position in midfield. Interestingly, Nygren the other night played as, you could probably a number 10 type of position, which is a bit dated position now. Normally it's two number 8s higher up the pitch, and that's what Celtic have done today. But I'm not sure if he can play that position with his back to goal. I think he's better off the right hand side or the left hand side at least, and he's seeing, and he gets into the box almost on the blind side, and there he goes again into the box.
Tony Ralston angling a ball in, which is headed away by Robbie Dees for Kilmarnock. 2-0 Celtic, and looking for more goals. Nygren getting his first involvement off the bench, teaming up with Ralston down that side, threaded through by Hatate, and Nygren tries the left foot shot, which has the sting taken out of it, and James Brown can clear for Kilmarnock, and Killie going to make changes as well. I think 3 of them coming up. So Bruce Anderson is going to come off. and Marcus Dackers will take over as the main striker. He's probably run himself into the ground, I would imagine, Bruce Anderson, and really unlucky not to add to his Kilmarnock goal tally with that shot which came back off the frame of the goal in the first half.
Yeah, I thought he might have left him on and put Dackers on up alongside him and just, create another type of situation for Celtic to deal with. Maybe two out-and-out strikers, but he hasn't. He's just replaced him. You're right, he has run and run and run.
Well done,
difficult up there on their own when you're up against Celtic with two centre-halves who can pass the ball and they knock it by you, and then you've got Callum McGregor joining in, so it's very, very difficult.
On the ball, Tony Ralston. His angled ball into the box wasn't a bad one, but it's bounced behind before Kieran Tierney could get there. Tyrese John Jules is another of the players coming off the bench for Kilmarnock. He scored after they conceded 3 times at Falkirk last weekend, and Greg Kiltie is on for them as well, wearing number 11. Second spell at the club, so Stuart Kettle will just freshen things up at the moment. A bit more energy into the team, potentially. How is this game going to go from here? We're into the final quarter, and Celtic will fancy another goal or two on the day if they can. Kilmarnock just dicing between those two objectives of stopping Celtic scoring again and having a presence in the final third and maybe creating a chance or two.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it, and fresh legs up front to see if they can get maybe a ball down a channel to get it up, and I don't know what's going on here between Hatate and David Watson. I think initially it was also Brad Lyons that was involved. Hatate, he's a small guy, and referee having a strong word with all of them,
which will have absolutely no impact whatsoever.
I suppose the referee, does he speak Japanese? I'm not sure. Does Hatate speak English?
I think Don's still grappling with English, to be honest. Only joking, Don. Celtic have won only 2 of their last 5 in the league, so this will be a welcome 3-pointer if they can get the job done. And it just shaves a couple of points off Hearts' advantage at the top of the Premiership. Out the ball goes from Schmeichel. We haven't mentioned him second half, mainly because the ball has barely been anywhere near him. Forward it goes towards Johnny Kenny with a layoff. Now Hatate out wide left. Lovely ball through the middle, and it was matched by the movement of Maeda, who darted in off the right side and just couldn't get the touch on it. But when Kilmarnock get the ball back, who is racing back to make a challenge and try and regain possession of it? But Mr. Non-Stop Dyson Maeda himself.
Yeah, and he was running back with speed, and you can see Don Thompson just knew that he was coming. He just stepped across into his line, and that obviously drew the foul. So yeah, it was clever from the fullback. But yeah, you're right about that energy, and that's something that I'm not sure if it was there all of the time with Dyson Maeda this year, but last year it was prolific, wasn't it?
Sure was. Kilmarnock in possession with James Brown. Laid off by John Jules to Dackers right side, and he does well to win the corner kick off Kieran Tierney.
Yeah, and he's a big lad, Dackers, isn't he? You know, now you've got the 3 centre backs going up. Dackers is in the box, and I think this was always going to be probably the best opportunity for Kilmarnock in this game to try to get something out of it. They're crowding again in the 6-yard box, and they'll be bending in on top of the goalkeeper.
Dom Thompson to deliver from this corner kick on the right hand side for Killie. 2 down at Celtic Park. Thompson swings it into the back post area. It's a good knockdown from Dackers, and it's flicked back out wide for Thompson to try again. Low ball in this time. Great delivery, loads of pace on it, and now the danger for Kilmarnock as Celtic look to counter, but it's well won back by Kiltie, who swings the ball in, took a nick, got away from Scales. Watson tries to get there on the loose ball, and he was never getting there, and it was a lunge from the 20-year-old Kilmarnock midfielder, and he's pretty fortunate he didn't make contact with Hatate.
Yeah, I think that's the key here. the referee give the free kick because of the lunge, but he didn't make contact. But listen, he won't draw back. He's an energetic young lad, but you don't want him to be going into tackles recklessly, that's for sure.
Just a stumble there from Austin Trust. He almost lost his footing, and John Jules might have been in on goal, but it's a little bit wild and wacky from Celtic at the moment, giving up possession pretty cheaply, and as they tried to make up for it, a free kick is given and a yellow card is shown to Callum McGregor. Just a little bit untidy from Celtic, and almost encouraging Kilmarnock to get back into this game.
Yeah, the ball's played in from Scales into Tati, and his pass was high and accurate, and it forced then McGregor and himself to go into a tackle. I think it's McGregor that's booked, is it?
Yeah, it was. We're inside the last 20 minutes of Celtic Park. Celtic 2, Kilmarnock 0. Celtic looking to get onto 23 points, and that will be 7 behind Hearts. What can Kilmarnock make of this set piece? Dom Thompson flights it out wide for Marcus Dackers. Back it goes to James Brown. Then it's Thompson again. I can't believe this was off the training ground, but it's angled again towards Dackers. He knocks it into the mix, and Liam Scales gets it away.
Yeah, that's the volume
from Kilmarnock now, trying to get again high up the pitch, but they've been successful, and this is going to be a long throw into the box. The height is there again, so we've got to deal with it.
Yeah, good luck in beating Marcus Dackers to this one. He's stationed at...
I'll just mute it for a second. Hand egg. Rugby light. Sorry. You can call it football if you want, honestly. I've been told in the Purple story that we were the ones that actually came up with calling it soccer. It's association football because it's football. And just like I heard Claudia all start up and stuff. See, we could actually release some of it. So, Nebula, if you get access to aromatherapy oils, you get a burner. So basically, a little tea light, not ceramic, an oil burner essentially. So you put in water, then you put in a few drops of like eucalyptus tea tree, or technically you can make a water bath with warm water with marjoram and tea tree, and it helps open things up. That's all I would say. And take Pyretics and paracetamol, Tylenol. Take Tylenol. It'll help cool you down a bit. Fucking lunatics. Scientists like me yell a little bit of that. Tylenol does not. God.
Just couldn't get enough purchase on it to maybe knock it towards goal or across the goalkeeper. Just try to flick it back into an area, maybe hoping that
Weird that you can't hear me. That's odd.
And just didn't.
Yeah, Tylenol. That'll help.
It was a lovely ball from
aches and pains, and if you're.
I think Dackers would have been happier with a ball on his head if it had a bit more height on it, but he tried to take it with his right boot, and it goes down as half a chance, that's for sure, because he just got that little gap in between Tierney and Scales, and he was unable to get any power on it.
Yeah, that freshness Kilmarnock brought to the front line between Kilty and John Jules and Dackers is causing a few problems for Celtic. Celtic haven't been able to kill the game off. I know they're 2-0 up and they should be coasting here, but Kilmarnock putting in a really good effort.
Oh, a dangerous pass, quickly taken free kick by Kilty, and he wasn't allowing for the pace of Maeda. And now Nygren down the right side turns the ball back to the edge of the area for Hatate. Tony Ralston fired in low. Johnny Kenny with a snapshot from about 8 or 9 yards out. Never over the shot, so it flies too high.
Yeah, and somebody down for Kilmarnock on the edge of their box. I'm not sure who it is. Have they got subs to put on? They have. I think
they do. Yeah, they've made 3 changes, but they may choose to make another one right now, depending on the severity of that.
Yeah.
We've played 75 minutes, so 15 left plus stoppage time. Kilmarnock having a decent spell the last 5 minutes or so. Just wondering whether they can get a goal back and make this game interesting. Celtic don't want it to be
Hopefully not.
Celtic just want to get the job done. And were they to get them...
God damn it, Celtic, I want more goals.
Martin O'Neill's team, then that would be that. But right at the moment, it's the game's not dead.
No, it was Zach Williams who was down on the edge of the box, one of the centre half backs. But yeah, he's up and the game goes on, and yeah.
It's a poor kick out from Eddie Beach, the Kilmarnock goalkeeper. He's hooked it right out of play on the left-hand side, and Greg Kilty was furious because Kilmarnock are just sensing a little bit of opportunity at the moment. They want to give it their best shot to try to get back into this. 2-0 down. James Brown clips the ball forward. Kieran Tierney heads it away. Kenny, really good knockdown to Austin Trusty. And now Tony Ralston, who replaced Jemai Simpson-Pusey on his debut for Celtic first team. Scales to Tierney. He's off and running down the left-hand side. Gives the ball to Nekti. Running at Watson and Brown. The ball is slipped in field to Hatate. Back to Trusty. Onto Ralston. Then it's on to Maeda. A little pass round the corner. Negrin tried to slip it through again, but a good stretch and a block from David Watson, and then there was a late challenge by Dazin Maeda, which sees Don Robertson reaching into his pocket for a yellow card. Sometimes it's just the pace of Maeda getting into these challenges.
That's it. It looks like he's catching him. I don't think he really caught James Brown there. But James Brown went down. He may have just nicked him, but I don't think it was the alcohol. But he again went to ground is probably the reason why.
So Celtic making another couple of changes, and it's the end of the match for Tinekti. He's been mighty impressive. Really good performance from him. He couldn't have done much more. Arne Engels is on too. So
Engels!
Yang is on.
Yeah, Yang's out. Will come out on his left-hand side. I think Kilmarnock's also making a substitution, Rob.
Yeah, David Watson is coming off for them. Liam Polworth, one of the players coming on for Killian, Marley Watkins.
Oh,
so Polworth is very creative. Marley Watkins adds to what they've got up front. So credit to Stuart Kettlewell. There's no damage limitation at this stage. He's throwing everything at trying to get a goal back here.
He is indeed.
Excuse me.
He'll come into the middle of the pitch alongside Polward, and he allows him to put an extra player higher up the pitch.
Ralston back to Schmeichel. And he hooks the ball left side to Kieran Tierney. It took a bounce just in front of him, but he managed to leap up and keep it in. Now Hatate with a lovely little spin
to
get away from Polworth.
He's played better today, Hatate, I've got to say, I think.
You agree, Rob? Yeah, I do agree. I always agree with you, Packy. I know what's sensible. Celtic moving it around nicely. There's a nice tempo about the team at the moment as they look for the third goal. Tony Ralston looked as if he was tripped inside the penalty box. He went full length. The Celtic fans were waiting for Don Robertson to point to the spot. He has resisted.
He has. He's gone down really heavily, hasn't he? You know, when you're running with speed like that and you get a touch, you're down. Whether he tripped over himself, according to the referee, or whether he was caught, but the play still goes on. Now they probably will check it, I assume.
Yeah, the ball's out close to the two dugouts, and the Celtic fans are entreating Don Robertson to change that decision. Meantime, Greg Kilty having words with the referee, and he's been yellow carded.
Yeah, I think he's saying that if he's gone down so easily, and it's not a penalty then as a dive. You know what I mean? Now I think he tripped over.
Greg Kilty continuing his conversation with Don Robertson. He should probably wrap it at this point in case he sees another yellow card. Celtic 2, Kilmarnock 0. Tyrese John Jules on the ball. Strong enough to hold off a couple of Celtic challenges.
Next month. What is the
Danger
16th?
to Dees and Zach Williams, left side of the back three. James Brown making a move and wanting the big diagonal out to the right side, but there wasn't enough on it, and Tierney was able to intercept.
Or goal.
To Hatate, and again Williams stabs it away and finds Dackers further forward for Kilmarnock. A late challenge from Nygren.
Hang on.
Kilmarnock have got a free kick.
I get my money on the 9th, don't I?
Don Robertson is going to have a word here with
God, I think my appointment time might be a bit more reasonable.
Yeah, he's kept his
card
in his pocket, the referee. And again, a strong word. I don't mind that, to be honest. I don't like to see everybody getting booked for any little misdemeanor.
82 minutes at Celtic Park and 2-0 for the home team against Kilmarnock. Kenny and Tierney with the goals, and at the moment looks as if it's going to be enough to just trim that gap at the top of the Premiership. Yeah, still pretty sizable for Hearts, but from 9 back to 7 it would be.
Yeah, if Kilmarnock is going to get anything out of this, they've got to get a goal.
Caution, there's a week left. You think we're going to be that crap by the end of the season?
9 minutes of the game.
You have to bear in mind as well that Celtic have got a game in hand, so
and you shut up as well. We're winning the league. Fuck off. Huh?
Fourth match in charge.
1-0 game. Remember that.
Down goes Tyrese John Jules right on the edge of the penalty box. McGregor's challenge, which looked to be fair enough. Not that Tyrese John Jules reckons that. He's still screaming at the officials. And the ball is out of play for a throw-in. And the game's in a bit of a lull at the moment. Kilmarnock were lively for a 10-minute spell.
Yeah, just seen Martin O'Neill out on the edge of his box and almost telling Hatate to slow down, take it easy, manage the game. Would be what he'd be looking at from an experienced manager.
Robbie Dees driving out of defence for Kilmarnock.
Kind of cool or kind of one, depending if they're shivering or sweating like a bastard.
Something from Marley Watkins, who's settled for the corner kick. Turned behind by Austin Trusty. Well, if Kilmarnock get something from this corner kick, it'll be the first really effective set play they've had, because they really haven't done much at all so far.
No, and that is a big threat for them, because they've got
Sorry, Kelly.
You know?
Sorry.
Initially, when I looked at what they were doing from the first, I think the very first corner, I thought this could be a weapon for them, but they haven't been able to execute it.
In the 84th minute, in comes
I thought this one counts. This is the one where the pair of them fight through.
Caught very cleanly by Kasper Schmeichel. Plenty of bodies around, but nobody really attacking it with any menace for Kilmarnock. That was the problem.
Being Kyle Orange.
Yeah, and I think that's the key for Celtic also. When, you know, goalkeepers, is he going to come? Yes, he has been up his man, but then do your job, block off other players.
Let's see if
allow them to come and hamper the goalkeeper and let him come easily and take that ball.
Kilmarnock are heading for 5 defeats on the bounce as the ball is fired forward for Maeda. Dyson Maeda makes it 3.
Well done, Maeda. Maeda.
It was a very quick attack. The ball fired into his stride, and he just took a touch.
He held my plea all the way up here in Springburn and gave me a goal. Celtic. Thank you, Maeda. I will not be denied Galaxy Caramel.
Really good run, quick run, penetrating run, penetrating pass, good touch, quite an acute angle to beat beat the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper has gone under the goalkeeper, has it, or just into the near post. But the speed, the execution of that was really, really quick. And of course, it's a third goal and just kills this game off for Celtic, and they'll be happy with the 3 points. And I think probably the display to a point today was a lot better.
The Celtic fans on their feet, they felt they needed that. They were just a little bit nervous because Kilmarnock had an encouraging spell for them. Not that they'd produced any.
Oh, it's Anglos
but they were getting into good areas. And the game wasn't finished, but it is now. 3-0, and a welcome moment for Dyson Maidaus, looking to recapture that vintage form of last season.
Yeah, and that's the problem for any manager, though. You got to try to get a bit more pressure on the opposition. You're 2 goals down. You throw on, strikers high up the pitch, and then you get exposed in the middle of the pitch. Celtic have got that ability to go and exploit space and really exploit the opposition and try something different.
It'll be interesting to see how far that shot was into the corner from Maida. He hit it with real power. He hit it quickly. Maybe that was the key. I just wondered, because there was an angle, it wasn't right down the middle.
That's
it was
right.
Right side of the box. I just wondered if the goalkeeper was positioned properly to get to potentially save that. But
yeah, I agree. And it was on an angle, and you would expect him. It's either going under him or going into the near post, and you just expect him. Here's
and he took it first time, no touch this time. Lovely curling pass from Tony Ralston, picking out Dyson Maida again. This time he was down the middle, and he just tried to curl it around the goalkeeper. And credit to Eddie Beach, he was in the right place that time.
Yeah, and he held it well. But again, a good run from him, isn't it? That speed and speed of thought, and then the pass, of course, has got to match that. And yeah, Celtic just creating a few opportunities, gets the goal, and then a really good opportunity there to make it 4.
And the Celtic fans love it when the Maida theme tune goes out over the PA and everyone joins in.
Yeah, and I think he'll be happy now that he's got his goal, and he's obviously playing through the centre at this moment in time, and that pace that he has will always be a threat to teams. But it gives us confidence, because this season has not been, again, a bit like Hatate, has not been their best, and it's about trying to build that confidence up.
Celtic moving the ball around at the moment very nicely, threatening to score again. Kilmarnock win it back, play up to Dackers, couldn't keep it. Here comes Celtic. It's Scales on the move, and it's Yang coming in off the left-hand side, looking to set something up. It's cleared, but is the danger over? Possibly not. It is now, because Yang is in a wild swing at it, and the ball has gone way over the crossbar.
Yeah, and it has gone well over the crossbar. I think it's gone over about 20 feet above the crossbar from the edge of the box, so he's caught it wrong. But again, nice, sharp bit of play from Celtic. I think Kilmarnock is probably at this stage saying, let's get the final whistle.
7 wins in a row for Celtic against Kilmarnock. It's 5 defeats on the bounce for Stuart Kettlewell's team. They stay where they are in the league table on 10 points.
They probably do that in most of the matches that happen in this week.
They stay
obviously not for Talent. He only knows where to get it.
Points closer to Hearts at the top. James Brown with the cross for Kilmarnock, blocked by Tierney. It goes behind, and Killie have a corner kick. And
you're on.
9 minutes.
Yeah, there'll be one man on the pitch to be wanting to have a clean sheet, and that's Kasper Schmeichel. Like any goalkeeper, you have to walk off that pitch with your no goals against. Ticks another box for him.
3-0 Celtic. Kenny and Tierney and Maida with the goals. Is there any crumb of comfort for Kilmarnock? Thompson swings in the corner beyond the back post. Dackers gets his head to it, looping in under the crossbar until it was punched away by Schmeichel. There's a Kilmarnock player still down right in front of him. George Stanger in there. But Celtic get the ball clear. Kilty has it wide right for Kilmarnock. Back to Brown. James Brown angles it across again, looking for the obvious target. You can't miss him. Marcus Dackers this time doesn't get his head to it, and the ball is out in the far side for a throw-in. We're almost at 90 minutes. How much time is going to be added on? The answer will be in front of us shortly down in the touchline when the board goes up to tell us that a minimum of 2 will be added.
That was over.
In the end, pretty emphatic from Celtic.
Yeah, they'll be happy walking off after the disappointment of Thursday night, of course. Kilmarnock, again, is in their defeat, and difficult for them at the moment to get any momentum and get. You've got to get a win somewhere. You've got to get a point somewhere. You've got to get back on that positive, and to lose 3-0. There's some positives out of this game, you've got to say, but ultimately beating 3-0 with Celtic making quite a few other chances.
Yeah, where would the game have gone had Anderson's shot gone in rather than hit the junction of post and crossbar? Well, who knows? But that was as close as they've got.
That and the one
scoring.
Is it Tiffany that had the other shot?
Yeah, the deflected shot. Yeah,
those were the two chances.
Yeah.
But second half, even though they put players on the pitch, forward-thinking players higher up, they never really created anything to trouble Schmeichel, did they?
No. Bucket goes to Trusty, and he finds Hatate in the midfield. Square pass to Tierney, down the line, Yang. James Brown tries to stick close, change of direction from Yang. It's a good run from him, bustling towards the byline. He's still going, he cuts inside. He was having his shirt pulled by James Brown, and you won't get a clearer penalty kick than that one. Don Robertson does the honours and points to the spot, and it could be 4.
Yeah, desperation from James Brown at the end up, wasn't it? Because he had almost gone back to get try and get a tackle, and then Yang
we've got a penalty.
Hesitated, went again, drove into the box, and then he's almost setting himself up for a shot, and there was James Brown pulling him back, and he ends up. But they're all now looking to see, well, who's going to take the penalty here?
Yeah, there's a lot of people looking across to the touchline to find out who's going to take this penalty. There is a VAR check, but well, I'm not sure there was any check needed. So who's taking this? Arne Engels. Bemused face.
Well done, Engels.
Right. Who's going to take this? Well, the answer is Arne Engels, who can turn 3 into 4. Late on, this will be pretty much the last kick of the match. It's Arne Engels, and it's rifled in. No one was stopping that one from Engels, and he puts the icing on the cake for Celtic after a comprehensive defeat of Kilmarnock. There'll barely be time to get this match restarted. Celtic 4, Kilmarnock 0.
Yeah, this is an emphatic penalty. Pace, power, goalkeeper, no chance. And I think probably when you look at the game,
on you go, Engels.
With the chances that was created, now they probably.
It was really weird saying that.
Celtic probably reflection on the game, I think. Kilmarnock had a little, listen, they contributed to the game in a certain way, but they haven't created it really a lot in that second half. And Celtic were always, I think, in control.
Well, sometimes we talk about the last kick of the match.
Oh, by the way, there will be people that I know.
There's no time to get it restarted, and Celtic have come through by 4 goals to 0.
My brother-in-law.
Kilmarnock were competitive. They did what they
could.
They could have equalised in the first half. They really couldn't produce much in the second half at all. And after Johnny Kenny had scored inside 10 minutes, Kieran Tierney rifled in a left footer for his first goal of his second spell with the club to ease any concerns that Kilmarnock might be. They had a decent spell, Stuart Kettlewell's team, in the second half, but it didn't really add up to anything, and Dyson Maeda at the end of a long ball took a touch and hammered in a right footer for the 3rd goal of the game. And as you've just heard, it was all rounded off with that penalty pull by James Brown, and Arne Engels did the rest, angling his penalty kick into the bottom corner for a final score here as Celtic close the gap at the top of the Premiership to 7 points with a game in hand. Celtic 4, Kilmarnock 0.
Swear to God, some of these BBC commentators annoy me. Those two, the Harry Bonner and Richard are a lot better than Lee McLeod. Irritates me with a passion. Still the best part, half an hour left down at Man City Liverpool. Look at that table. Ah, there's 7. There's fucking hell. Four, 21, 18, 15, 15, 15. What's happening in Liverpool? That's mental. Excuse me. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, Dooku. So there we go. 3-0 at the Etihad. I wonder what's going wrong with Liverpool. You know what? Let's look at some of the best goals from some of my favourite Celtic players from back in the day. Don't worry, I won't get copyright claimed because these matches are old. Woo! More or less, oh, dear. It's Plasky on with Trevor. Let's see what, with 6 o'clock? First goals. Wibble. Oh, way back. I miss people like him so much. Oh my God. Yes, bring it. 35 goals in the 5 minutes.
It's a good run by Simon Donnelly. In for Henrik Larsson. And Moravcik!
Oh, no.
His first goal for Celtic. 12 minutes gone. Top line is onside. Number 2 for Moravcik.
To allow this man all that space again. Moravcik, yes! But it's given to Larsson again. Moravcik. Oh, what a
Go.
He's got reset out wide. He's got Moravcik
Oh, he still had his dreads. A while ago. Oh, bring it. On you go, Liverpool.
He might go for it himself, and he does! It's there! Moravcik on that little turn again.
Woo! Hmm. I'll wait for the
Now
goal.
Celtic do the attacking with Moravcik. Away from White, away from McAllister, and away from Leighton. That's superb from Moravcik. And that's 3 for Celtic.
Woo!
It's Moravcik.
United. No head switch.
That's going wide.
Get in there.
Moravcik this time on the right foot.
Excuse me.
Reset beat Winters without too many problems.
Oh my god. Yeah, how far out he's like still from.
Tries his luck, finds Larson. Good interplay between Larson and Sutton again as he goes for the return ball. Chance for Moravcik! And Celtic lead. Now Sutton. Wonderful through ball as well.
Sutton.
That is a stunning goal.
Sutton gives Moravcik going round the outside. There it is. That does it. Tries to put it in right, but it's there. Moravcik. And Moravcik has scored.
I missed this bit, Alan.
For a moment, I thought that was going to hit the post, or that the goalkeeper would have got to it. No wonder he's delighted. In actual fact, nobody does that better than he. Headed away by Severin. On the left foot of Moravcik.
Woo!
Now Petrov on the run, just beyond, and that's it. He's on his own, although Lennon is arriving. Moravcik goes for goal himself. Oh, and it's squeezed past Mark Guillaume.
It's taken by Moravcik. Wonderful goal by Lubomir Moravcik. That is absolutely stunning. I said it would take something special. Larson in here. Presley covering him. Oh, he's put it into the path of Moravcik.
Larson into the path of Lubomir Moravcik. He's through, and he scored. Maloney's flick. Oh, Moravcik's going to be in again here. Where are Rangers? Lubomir Moravcik. Is he going to get a second? You better believe he is. It's a double.
We're the Rangers, not on the pitch.
And Celtic are heading for their first win over Rangers at Ibrox
for
6.5 years.
Cup final
What
opponents
the
Hibs faced
fuck?
the Hoops just 3 weeks before.
Oh my
in a
god.
cup meeting at Hampden Park.
I remember
And
this.
as a dress rehearsal, things just couldn't have gone better for the boys.
Get in there.
Moravcik goes for goal. Oh! Stunning! Sensational! Magnificent from Moravcik. Pick that one out.
Clearance from Routbeck straight to Moravcik.
What the fuck? Level. Alright.
Baldo's long raking pass straight into the path of Moravcik. And he delivers it beyond Marco Routbeck.
It is going to be Lubomir Moravcik. Oh! That is just wonderful. Magnificent from Moravcik. He shows once again what he's all about.
Is Moravcik curling it in? What a marvellous goal from Lubomir Moravcik. 11 and a half minutes gone.
Moravcik with a long range effort. Squeeze under the keeper.
Who will I read? Yeah. Let's update that. No, still no. Right. You know what? I'll just end so people can go and get their tea or something or dinner. Stay hydrated. Self-care's good care. Take meds if you have to. If you need your meds, stay based. Catch you later on in 4 or 5 hours.